What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Nigam and he's from the Squiz clan. Very interesting clan indeed. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Poseidon is from the Adhafang clan. His name is Adhafang. This game is from 2009 and the map is Marsh. And if you don't know who these guys are, I don't know where you've been living, because there's some history. There's some history with this game, and if you want to get into it, you got to know the history, appreciate what's come before you. And these are two incredibly strong players who have played this game at a top level for an incredibly long time. Adhafang and Nigam, I believe they're both French. Squiz, Arf is definitely the French clan. Pretty sure Nigam was French as well. So we got the French off here. Very exciting game to be watching here. So it's a good time to be alive. And we have Nigam over here with his build order of 6 villages on food. Probably gonna put 3 villages on wood and 3 villages on gold. Old school build order, to be honest. Generally speaking, nowadays, people go very little on food to start with. Get this wood pumping early, the gold pumping earlier, so you can get a nice temple up fast so you can advance super quickly. And Sashimi, I just want you to know, I have a roommate, okay? It's fine. I have a roommate. He's in the other room. He's got his headphones on just as much as I've got my headphones on. We are G, okay? I can yell, he can yell. It's all good. I just happen to yell more, and it's fine. It's totally fine. So, and here we go. Nigam over on the other side of the map. Well, I just looking at it. I want to look at Adhafang. What's Adhafang doing? Look at this. 5 villages food, 6 villages. They're stealing each other's builds. But maybe just 3 villages wood, 2 villages gold. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Poseidon versus Poseidon on Marsh is a very interesting matchup. And to be honest, any mirror matchup is super interesting because it's all about squeezing out the small advantages. Oh, look at that. Look at that Garrison Marco not taking any damage onto the villager. And he gets another crocodile to come in from the lure. A little bit upsetting to see that. He's going to shoot that one away and bring the crocodile back. Just absolute control over those AI crocodiles. I got no idea what's happening here. Relics on the other hand, we got some monkey heads, 3 relic monkeys which respawn in 60 seconds after all 3 died, if you did not know. We've also got the Staff of Dionysus, my personal favorite relic for the newer civilizations, giving you plus 20 villager carry capacity is gigantic. Really speeds up all of the food gather rates, more than you can really think of. If you think about what a villager normally brings in with 15 and you add on 20, it means that they are gathering twice as much before they're walking. So that gather time is erased, which is awesome. And we also have a relic here, which is the Ring of Nibelung. A very, very good relic indeed. 18 free gold a minute. Always good to see that one there. Both players putting their temples up at about the same time. Looking to be advancing fairly soon, getting out of Theseus nice and early, Nigam. Going to be looking for some of those relics. Oh, there's another relic that I missed. What's this one? A blue. Oh, imagine seeing these 2 relics sitting right next to each other and just being like, I'm going to be a happy farmer. Staff of Dionysus really buffs up farms, and Black Lotus does obviously as well with the 10% extra gather rate. So if you didn't know, villagers, they walk around quite a bit. And what'll happen is you got your 4 corners of the farm, right? And if your villager, maybe I'll just be here. So if your villager is in the far corner of the farm and he finishes off his gathering, he has to walk all the way from the far corner back to the town center, back to the far corner. So it's going to be a really long time for that villager to be dumping those resources off. So getting Staff of Dionysus cuts that possibility down even more. So you get a higher effective gather rate just because you've got it. So we'll see what Adhafang and Nigam choose to go for. Nigam is grabbing the Ring of Nibelung, and Adhafang throwing down 2 stables straight away over here. And we do see Nigam scouting this one out, so he's going to see that one. These maps where you have really safe gold, and I was going to say that, and I'm going to take it back instantly because Nigam's gold is not safe. So just forget what I was going to say there. I was going to say, these maps where you have really safe gold in the Poseidon War, you can actually do fast heroic ages and start spamming out Prodromus to counter the Hippocon spam, but not going to be happening at all. Now, Nigam has hit the classical age through Hermes a little bit later. Probably has some more economic upgrades. Everyone's got the same amount of economic upgrades. Feels good to be alive. The Centaur is searching around, getting bashed. Well, the Theseus bashing the other Theseus, and the Centaur about to get whacked. Well, he takes a big whack there, and he's going to have to get out of there feeling a little bit sorry for himself. Another Centaur coming in to help out. Maybe the Centaurs can fight each other for this time being. Nigam's going to be a little bit behind on the Hippocon production, as 2 Hippocons from Adhafang are already out because he advanced first. So all of this little chip damage that Adhafang is getting onto Nigam is much needed because he has the advantage currently on production. But 3 stables for Adhafang is quite a... I take it back. 3 stables for Adhafang is absolutely nothing because Nigam's putting 4 stables down. He's like, you think you can build Hippocon? You think you got this? And I think he's saying, you know what? Nah, I've got stables, I've got Hippocon, and he's producing from all of them incredibly fast. I think the reason we don't see this happening in today's day and age is because if you advance faster, you don't float resources, and you're going to start seeing 0% in these stables down to 2 stables. So if you just advance faster, you don't float those resources, you only need the 2 stables down at the start, then you can spam those units out and always have low resources, at least until you get more units. That's why we see people going like 430, putting 2 military buildings down first. But because Nigam advanced so late, he can throw down the 4, catch back up on the Hippocon count, and then he'll be okay. And it does let him get Hippocon out slightly faster because, you know, reasons. Reasons indeed. Anyways, Adhafang sitting at the supply blockage right now, throwing down the house. What I like to do if this ever happens to me is I just cancel one of these Hippocon and get medium upgrades. Like it's fine. It does give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Nigam, on the other hand, just happily spamming. He does have rough. Looks like he has 2.5 of these stables producing at this point. But he's sitting at 65 population to Adhafang, who's also sitting at 65 population. So both players in a similar situation, but Adhafang, or Nigam I should say, has got that extra relic. So he's getting some more resources, pushing the villagers off of food there, and medium upgrades for Adhafang does come in. That's going to force Nigam out. He really can't be fighting in this world with those sort of upgrades, or without the medium upgrades. It's looking like he's going for it. He's going to be able to get some nice pickoffs there with some really good micro, and Adhafang just not able to compete. Really nice pickoff there. They were about even there, except for the Centaur. Even military unit count there. Anyways, Adhafang still building those cavalry out. We can see both players sitting at quite a bit of wood at this point. Actually, Nigam not so much, but one thing that people were doing, or at least do nowadays, is they sit on like 4 or 5 villages on wood, and by the time they hit 300 wood, they're able to get the second town center on. We do see some farms coming out for Nigam. Not picking up the Black Lotus and farming this early is an interesting decision. I'm not sure. There's still pigs to be grabbed. There's still boars to be grabbed. Yes, it's safer to farm at this point, but I think you're just better off risking it and just defending your food because you just get so much more food. And Adhafang, on the other hand, he's also getting a lot of pigs right now, but he's still eating on the boar. I guess Nigam's also eating with some villagers on the boar. We do see this scout is in a really nice position to see these Hippocon coming over here, and Adhafang is ready to pounce, but he's not paying attention, and the army runs right by him. Meanwhile, Hippocon over here going to be pushing off this gold mine, and the villagers have to run away from that one. He is a terrifying presence, to be sure. Hippocon jumping onto the villagers, maybe going to be able to pick off 1 or 2 of them. Almost gets 3, to be honest. One of those is real. Oh, he does get 3. He gets 3, he trades He trades 2 Hippocon. So a good trade there for Nigam, and he's going to get out. This Hippocon still picking off units. More Hippocon coming in. Going to be able to pick off some of these villages in the back over here. And Adhafang is out of position completely as the Hippocon are looking to move in onto the hunt of Adhafang. Get some damage back done to Nigam's economy. But Nigam should just be able to run straight through the base of Adhafang now. These Hippocon are slow, so they'll take a little bit of damage from the town center. But he will be able to get out of there in the end. Does lose that one. Hippocon coming over here right now, and Nigam is off already. He moved his villages back. He's eating the water buffalo, and Adhafang not able to find any villages there at this point. So really nice pullback from Nigam to think about that one. But now the Hippocon coming in. There's a couple of Hippocon already over here with watchtowers. These villages are going to immediately run away. A couple of really low HP Hippocon for Adhafang, but Nigam not going to take any damage onto his villages. They're just a little bit of idle villager time, but really nothing that vital. And now the Hippocon spots this settlement for Adhafang coming up, and Nigam has to be thinking about getting his own now. And he can cut this production if he wants to in order to get the next town center, or go straight to the heroic age. I think because of how good this town center is, you just want to get your own second town center. This town center protects this gold mine, and you're not really going to be able to prevent that gold mine at any point in this game with an early heroic age. But really nice fight here from Nigam, getting a beautiful surround, getting a bunch of kills, but still losing some Hippocon while this is going on. With Hippolyta and Theseus in this fight, this fight should go pretty heavily in the favor of Adhafang. If he can get the Theseus to take some damage, which he kind of has, but it's turning out that maybe the numbers were slightly in favor or even heavily in favor of Nigam, and I just can't count. It's looking like Adhafang gonna have to get out of there. He's still trying to spam units. 77 population to 94 population. Another stable going down as if you don't have enough stables already. And there's the ceasefire from Adhafang as he is gonna have to defend against this with little to no Hippocon. Needs a little bit of a chill time to catch back up. Villagers now out of the pigs, going to move forward onto some boar. So it's an interesting play style here from Nigam, setting up these farms nice and early. He doesn't have plows, so these are super slow. You're looking at 60.69 food per second, I think is how it means, or something like that. But it's super slow without plow. The husbandry does help out a little bit, but without plow, it's like it's very, very sad days for those villagers. It's just like they're not getting any help at all. Now the Hippocon making their retreat, but we see Nigam coming into the back, potentially looking to get these hippopotamus or something, but there's nothing there. There's not going to be any villages to hit. Adhafang's resources are very, very safe currently. Farms are coming up for Adhafang. Just sitting next to the monkey head, just hates the monkey head, does not want to get it at all. Hippolyta just chilling next to her, like, yeah, you're not worth even picking up. And now the Hippocon coming in, looking to hit the villagers, but Adhafang already reacting to this one. And Nigam going to have to get out of here. He's going to take a lot of chip damage onto this army, which may come in handy later in the game. Attacking the hippopotamus, just a friendly hippopotamus, just chilling there, doing no harm to nobody, and you're just going to whack him with your sword. It's so rude. But I think I'm going to get out of there, totally fine. And it's looking as though he's trying to get to the heroic age here, but just does not have the gold just yet. I mean, he does. Technically, he has the gold, 72 gold times 4. That is, or times 5 actually. That's enough gold to advance. But he just doesn't want to cancel those auto queues. There's the second town center for Nigam coming up. Grabbing a forward town center. Town center is definitely in favor of Adhafang this game. But Adhafang on the back foot means that Nigam can just grab this and it's not going to matter. So a really, really good decision there as the Hippocon checking out the back town center, trying to prevent that one. While Nigam is coming in, he's trying to hit the villager, but the villager going to jump into the watchtower. Potentially going to lose that watchtower because I think Adhafang, he does have some Hippocon here, so he should be able to push these guys away. The watchtower will fall though, as it's gone for now, and then Nigam also going to take a bit of chip damage as he's coming out. Maybe going to lose 1 or 2 Hippocon, but he does decide to turn around for some reason. The Hippocon for Adhafang are really, really good here. The numbers are huge and a little bit of micro there, but that's not going to help out. as Adhafang does really nicely in that fight. And Nigam is going to be on the defensive now, but he does have a town center that he can run back to. Looks like he had another Hippocon there. And we still do not have a heroic age coming for Nigam. Another thing to note about cancelling your auto queue early to get to the next age means if you lose Hippocon, they are immediately replaced by villagers, which is more useful as you get the more town centers, obviously. So you can definitely decide to, once you hit full population on military, if you're rushing the full population, just cancel them. Cancel them and then just replace the dead units with villagers. Don't fight too head on. If you do decide to fight head on, just remember to start your units back up. It's a good little strategy. And we do see the third town center for Adhafang coming up. Already some Hippocon over here, but it's like Nigam's not wanting that to happen, or even thinking about coming over here, but Adhafang's here to help defend. Random villager just maybe about to get slaughtered. Insta death. It's just out for an evening stroll and just runs into a face full of cavalry. That's gotta hurt. And now we see Nigam now going for his third town center. It's just, I felt like, I mean, he's got so much food in the bank. He just needs more villagers on gold. If he had that, he'd be totally fine. And yet again, still spamming the stables out. This actually, you know, it's not a bad idea for Poseidon players to do this kind of thing. Just gotta be careful that you're spending your wood correctly. But basically what this does is it prevents enemy people from pushing through your base with stray siege. It basically prevents that because the siege, you're going to want to kill the stable. The stable replaces itself with 2 militia, which are effectively 2 hoplite. You just don't have any upgrades on them. I mean, any line upgrades. They do get affected by armor upgrades, so they're just missing out on a little bit of HP, a little bit of damage, but they will be able to pick off those siege weapons that are taking down your stable. So if they kill off a stray stable with a stray siege weapon, the militia kill off the siege weapon, you rebuild the stable and you're all good. And the cavalry is just looking to run away here. I think he's got Spirited Charge. He's got a bunch of really strong upgrades. Both players have got Spirited Charge. Lord of the Horses in for Nigam as well. It's going to allow him to see a little bit more with those Hippocon. But now 3 town centers apiece. Adhafang, the opposite issue to Nigam right now. I bet you they wish they could change their resource situation. 2,600 gold and 1,000 food here. Aphrodite coming in for Nigam though, so he's going to be able to jump straight to the Mythic Age if he wants, throwing down a bunch of military academies. Looking like he wants to make the tech switch into infantry. It's very standard mid-game tech switch, or late mid-game tech switch. Basically when you hit the heroic age, you want to transition into those infantry so that you can counter all of the Hippocon and get a nice siege push going. And then after that you sort of transition into Toxotes. So it's like go cavalry, then you go infantry, then you go archers. That's kind of the vibe, but we'll see what he does. He does have a curse here that he can use. Villagers getting pushed off over here as well, and Nigam spending resources, not deciding to go straight to the Mythic Age here. Wants to chill in the heroic age for a little bit. Generally speaking, that's not what we've been seeing in the modern game, but back then, you know, everyone had their little idea of what was good. No immediate fortified town centers is a bit strange to see, because that's one of the biggest upgrades you can get as soon as you hit the heroic age. It just gives you access to another 15 population, which is a lot of population, right? And now the Hippocon getting pushed back, the Nigam line doing a lot of damage. Adhafang very close to the next stage, and now he can advance. We are going to be seeing advance. He's going through Aphrodite himself, but heavy Hippocon is in for Nigam. So he's going to have a huge advantage over these Hippocon here with the extra 10% HP sitting at 187, and then the extra 10% damage going up to 14 damage. Nigam line sitting in the back just waiting to pick off those heroes, and they're going to come in and do a bunch of damage over here. You really want to kind of use that curse before these Hippocon become heavy, because it'll just do more damage because it's based off HP. So you get that down early, it does the most amount of damage. Now we've got that medium hoplite coming in as well. That's going to be a difficult thing to deal with. More farms coming up for Nigam. He's a little bit short on the food while this is all going on, but now he's going after the town center. Going after the town center, going to be focusing a little bit on the army. And the Nemean Roar is going to get these Hippocon even lower. You could actually just cast Curse here and just pick off so many of these units here. But not happening just yet. pick off a farm, all right. A little bit of a misclick there. Aphrodite comes in for Adhafang. He's going to immediately use Curse. That's going to send Nigam down to 138 population, but Adhafang's now sitting at 96. He has 3,000 gold in the bank, and he just does not have enough production right now. Only 5 production buildings to rebuild all of his army instantly. He's going to need something like 10 or something like that to give him 20 population at once. And he needs that to happen twice, right? There's a lot of ground he needs to recoup here, and it's just not happening. Prodromus coming out though, but those are instantly countered by the hoplites of Nigam. And not only that, he's also got his own Prodromus, and now Petropolite coming in for Nigam as he set up the forward castle here, the forward fortress. Gonna be starting to siege down this town center. More Petropolis are coming out, and this is gonna be a difficult situation for Adhafang to defend. A fortress coming up for Adhafang now, but this town center will be going down. Nigam really actually struggling to get some more units coming out. He's got he actually doesn't have anything being built right now. He has a little bit of stuff being built, but he needs to get a market down so he can buy some food and get the units out. But now this Nemean line's coming in. Maybe I'll pick up the Petropolis, but not fast enough. The town center for Adhafang goes down. So there's still a ceasefire for Nigam, so he can potentially come in and try and steal this, get out another Petropolis, try and knock this down, send villagers forward, and you can ceasefire and steal this town center if you so choose. But Adhafang just going to decide to tap out there because he's a little bit too far behind. It's too hard to rebuild those units, get that town center back, keep the pressure going on. As soon as Atlanta comes out, it picks off all the Nemean lines, all the little hope and dreams that Adhafang had to win this game are down the toilet. So GG, well played by Nigam, getting that victory there. Unfortunately for Adhafang, he just was not able to cut it here. I feel like it was all down to just over-economizing on the gold mine there for Adhafang. Had he got to the rock cage a little bit earlier, he could have gotten the medium or the heavy hippocon, and he wouldn't have lost the fight so hard that he had to take, and potentially get this fortress up a little bit early to defend against the fortress of Nigam as well. He definitely had a really nice position here to attack this fortress as well as defend this settlement. But GG, well played by Nigam, taking that game. We've got another game coming for you real shortly. Thanks for hanging out with me. You guys are the best.